Hello and welcome back to Sustainable Teacher. If it is your first time here, my name is Leticia and I'm glad to meet you. And if you've been here before, I'm happy to see you again. In today's video we start a new unit about human body. It's gonna be the last one and it's gonna be related with the reproduction function. So if you are interested in this video, please subscribe, hit the notification bell, and if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Today we will focus on human reproduction, specifically the attributes we have, the process of giving birth, and some health about the reproductive system and some contraceptive methods. So let's start with the characteristic of the human reproduction. We as humans, as a whole individual, we only reproduce sexually. What does mean? That we need two gametes, one male gamete and one female gamete, to fertilize each other, and that will become a new individual. And of course we need individuals with male and female reproductive systems to do so. But about the reproductive system, the anatomy and functioning of the reproductive system, we will talk in the next video. And how does it work? So first we need to do the process of gamete formation. In humans, gametes have different shapes. So the sperm has like a head with a long tail, and the ovule is fully round, right? So this difference in shape is called the sexual dimorphism. It means that we have two shapes in the sexual gametes. After this, we need a process of fertilization. In the case of humans, this fertilization is internal, not external, right? And after fertilizing the male gamete and the female gamete, we will have what we call a zygote, which is the first cell of a new individual. This zygote will suffer an embryonic process of division and developing until, after lots of process of differentiation, we will have a new individual. In the case of humans, this process, we are viviparous, so this process happens inside the uterus of the mother, right? The mother's uterus. And finally, the individual will become alive once we gave birth to them. To be able to reproduce sexually, humans need to be sexual mature. What does mean? That when we are babies, we can't do that. So we have to pass through some processes that happens in teenage years to become kind of sexually adults and sexually mature. The main big changes that will make us sexually mature will happen during puberty, during teenage years, and it's gonna be triggered by the sexual hormones we learned in the last video about the endocrine system, testosterone, progesterone, etc. So let's talk about the changes that happen in both sexes, so male and female individuals. Of course, the maturity to be able to reproduce sexually, physically, that physiological process. Psychologically, teenagers will start developing their personality, their identity, and to both male and female will appear body hair. Then let's talk about changes that happen in the male sex, okay? So male individuals will have a huge development of muscle tissue, muscles in the body in general. Due to this testosterone, penis and testicles will develop as well. And the voice is gonna be deeper, okay, in men after puberty. And they will, of course, start having their first ejaculations. In the case of male and female sex, the changes are gonna be the breast development as well as the hip widening, and also the first periods, right? So this is what we're going to talk about the reproduction in humans today. About the reproductive system we will talk later, and the embryonic development also. But today I want to focus a little bit on health and reproduction planning. Let's start talking about some contraceptive methods. So this is the way we can plan our reproduction if we want to get pregnant or not, having relationships, right? And this is the way we can decide when we want to form a family. So birth control is really important in our society nowadays, right? I have divided the contraceptive methods in 4 big groups, okay? Natural methods, mechanical methods, chemical or artificial methods, and surgical methods. Natural methods are the one that we try to take advantage of nature and natural cycles. We will see them in a minute. Mechanicals, they are just a physical barrier to avoid sperm to fertilize ovules. Chemical, they will work with hormones mainly to change the hormonal environment to avoid fertilization, ovulation, etc. And finally, surgical methods. They are methods in which surgery is performed to mainly cut the tunnels sperm and ovules use to close them, okay? So let's start with the natural methods. The main and most common and used natural method is Ogino. Ogino, don't use it if you don't want to get pregnant, okay? Or you don't want your partner to get pregnant. Because the reliability is really low. Actually, nowadays maybe Ogino is more used to try to get pregnant than avoiding it, okay? So it works, it's really easy. We will see in future videos that the menstrual cycle is a cycle, so it has like a cyclic periods of time. So if your menstruation is regular, which is not typical in teenage years, okay, you can guess those days of the month, because it happens every 28 days, those days of the month in which you are ovulating. So if you want to get pregnant, those are the days you should have relationships. If you don't want to get pregnant, these are the days you shouldn't. Usually Ogino is combined with basal temperature. So what you do is you take your temperature, your body temperature, and typically the days you are ovulating, you will have kind of 0.5 Celsius degrees more of body temperature on average than the rest of the month, the rest of the cycle. So if you take into account Ogino, so those days, and temperature, maybe you know when you are ovulating. Now let's talk about the mechanical methods. So they are a physical barrier to avoid the sperm to go through the uterus, right? So we have the preservative, the condom. We have male and female. Male is gonna be put over the penis. In the case of female, you introduce it in the vagina. In the end, once you finish your relationship and after ejaculation, you just remove it, and the sperm will be retained inside there. They are really reliable. They are the only system that will avoid STDs as well, okay? But you need to use them properly. So they should be the dates should be okay. I will recommend using them with the sell-by date bigger than 3 years. They should be stored in good conditions, not your wallet, not your backpack, not your purse. In a nice temperature, not the car temperature also. And of course you also should always revise if they have any bore, because if not, they are not reliable anymore, okay? for both male and female preservatives. And about the chemical methods, we have the spermicide cream, which is just a cream that you apply in the vagina, and it has a substance that will kill the sperm, right? But the reliability is around 70%. So it's not. It's usually combined with other methods like the diaphragm or the condom, the preservative. But something important, for preservatives also, the chemical base of the product should be water-based, never oily-based, like Vaseline, okay? Always water-based, because in any type of lubricant or cream you use, because the layer of latex, usually of the condoms, of the preservatives, can break or get spoiled due to those oily base like Vaseline creams, okay? So never combine oily based creams with preservatives. Then we have another type of chemical methods related with hormones. So you will intake somehow hormones to avoid usually ovulation, okay? You have pills, you take one pill every day if you're a female sex person, and this will inhibit the ovulation in the female body, okay? Reliability is higher than 99%, okay, for nowadays pills if you take them properly. And apart from pills, we have other type of dispositives that have also hormones, like patches and implants. So they are just structures that a doctor will or glue to you or introduce in your body that you can have for 1, 2 months, 3 months, and that will release the same hormones that will inhibit ovulation. And the last method, which is surgical methods, is performed by a doctor, and they will close the tubes, the contacts, for ovules in the case of female sex people, or the sperm tubes for male. And in the case of the female, it's called tube ligation. And in the case of the men, it's called it's called vasectomy. And what they do is they cut the tube, sperm go from testicle to the penis, so they can go through as well. They won't exit. They can ejaculate, but there won't be sperm in there. Just other type of fluids and liquids that usually go with the sperm, okay? Finally, just one slide about sexually transmitted diseases, STDs. So I have divided the STDs according to the type of pathogen. So the mains are bacteria and viruses, and some others like fungi. Just the names for you to know: chlamydia, gonorrhea, and syphilis. 2 centuries ago, syphilis killed a lot of people. Okay, nowadays they will just produce some kind of irritation and burns in the vagina or penis area. But sometimes if you get pregnant having an STD, it could be really dangerous for the baby. So that's a big deal. The other, they usually nowadays can get or they can be cured or they can be controlled, but they are really annoying, okay? Then those caused by viruses like herpes, there are different types. We can have facial, skin, or sexual herpes. Once you get them, you will get them forever in your body. The things, depending on the health of your immune system, they will be patent or not, okay? HIV or AIDS AIDS is the last stage of development of HIV, which is the human immunodepressant virus. So it's a virus that will suppress your immune system. If nowadays is controlled and you take antivirals, the virus can, in some cases, there has been some successes up to now, the virus can even disappear. If not, you will always live with the virus inside your body, but it can be controlled. And nowadays, even not transmitted, having sexual relationships or other type of risk practices that before were guaranteed that will transmit the virus. So that's really good news. But if it is not controlled, you will develop AIDS and you can even die. But it's not normal anymore in developed countries at least. And then caused by other pathogens like pubic lice, okay, which they are called grubs, so they are insects. If you don't have good hygiene over there in the pubic hair, really similar to lysis trichomoniasis, and one with fungi. There are different types of fungi infection. They will produce symptoms similar to bacteria infections, okay? So this is the end of the video. If you have any doubt, please leave them in the comments, and of course, see you soon.